Check out the ultimate guide for the ambitious young man, only at themailarchive.com.
So many guys are so deluded by all these bullshits in social media talking about fast money and shit. Or some dude with a chick at 21 strolling around in a Lambo. Don't believe that shit. Alright, boys, so I've recently just had a cousin of mine whom I haven't met in a while come over. And he was like, instantaneously, the moment he came in, man, I think my life's over with. Now, this guy was 24, alright. 24. So he wasn't old at all. But he spent his teenage years how most of us normally would, which was drinking, drugs, partying, chasing women, all that shit. This guy was good with women. I've actually learned quite a bit from him myself. But pretty much, he's been going through that phase of YOLO and all that shit to this day. He dropped out of college and chose to roam around in life. So when this guy came over a few days ago, we ended up talking just like the old days. Now, I tell you guys to stay away from drugs, limit alcohol, and reinvest your money and time back into yourselves and your businesses or whatever it is you're trying to do with your life. But I get that life though. I get the adrenaline you feel when you're in a club partying and there's women around and the alcohol is involved and the music is loud and one of your mates go like, dude, the night's young man, let's get more bottles. I've been there. Club life, I've done that shit. Heck, I've DJ'd in a lot of clubs when I was like 16 to 18. I just have lots of connections inside, which was why I was able to get in and stuff. So I'm not some fucking nerdy wimp telling you guys to stay away from it just because I've never done it. I've been through that life, but I woke up early. I woke up to the reality of the world early, and by late 18 I was able to snap myself out of it. But my cousin hasn't. He's 24, and he's still living that life, directionless. Sure, he gets head here and there, but they're just fucking sluts draining his time. Once that post-nut clarity kicks in, he realizes the shit show he's in. And he's at 24 thinking his entire life's over. So he came to me and started breaking down the bullshit he's done with his life. So I sat there and I was like, this guy's about to wake up. He's 24 and is already experiencing the regret of all the time wasted. This guy's young as fuck, and he still has a whole life ahead of him. And waking up at 24 is not a bad thing. Now, he's just one example of how modern men are in today's society. Deluded as fuck by social media. This guy thinks his life is over because he saw some dude made his first million at 22. 24 is young as fuck. You're just 7 years old. I say 7 years old because it's a concept that I've discussed with a mentor of mine, and this guy makes about £60,000 a month from real estate in the UK, and now he's just moving around the world living wherever he wants to. So this philosophy isn't just coming from some random slob. He says that as a man you're just 1 year old at 18, since you've been pampered your whole fucking life by the school system and by your parents. So by 18 you're just some creature with high testosterone who's reckless as fuck. But the beauty is, as you age, you get better, you get wiser, and you get smarter. So using that concept, 24 is just 7 years old. 7 years old of being a part of the real world, not the world where you're just fucking pampered and shit. No, this is the real deal now. The first 18 years of your life, those were nothing. The actual big boy shit starts at 18 where you're just 1 year old. And this is why I've always thought that men who wake up early in life are the men who are bound to become successful. It's not about emotional maturity and shit. It's about who wakes up to the reality of the world first. I woke up at 16 because my family tore up. We went from living the high life to losing everything. This is why whenever I feel like shit about working, I tell myself, imagine being 50 and not having anything to show for yourself at all. Or even worse, having everything and losing it in a snap. I've been there. But I'm grateful I've experienced that tragedy young because it slapped the shit out of me. But you guys gotta understand that you're all so fucking young. I've seen the metrics of the channel and most of the guys subscribed are at 18 to 30. These ages are young as shit. Don't feel bad about yourselves and start thinking that your life is over when you haven't even done shit yet at all. Because these ages are still so young. And I'm not telling you this to fuck around and go like, yeah, this guy said I'm still so young, let me have that gallon of Johnny Walker, mate. Now, I'm telling you guys that you're still so young in the real world, so you still have so much time as a man to learn, take big-ass risks, and level up. 30 years old is just 13 years old in the real world metrics. You're just getting there. So many guys are so deluded by all these bullshits in social media talking about fast money and shit, or some dude with a chick at 21 strolling around in a Lambo. Don't believe that shit. But even if it's fucking true, he probably had certain circumstances in life that allowed him to live that life early on. And I talk about that in my course much more in depth. But the other guys might start the race of life with rich parents. Some might start with a massive lump sum, or maybe his dad owns a fucking company who has connections, so he was able to blow his business up because of that. Either way, there's always a fucking catch that you might not know about. In the front, you might see something different, but behind that, there's a lot more shit going on. But for average men like us trying to make it, it'll take time, man. Average statistics say to make it to success, you need 12 years at least of hard work. And those bitches driving Maseratis on IG with red bottom heels at 23 going like, you're a fucking loser. Bro, they don't know shit. They're a fucking chick. Chicks are given the world at 16. We can't do shit about that. Shit like that shouldn't even leave a dent on you. But as men, we have so much time to learn, take risks, and build. So to those of you guys who think, my life's over, just like my cousin, remember, the fact that you're thinking like that already means you're about to wake up. And that's a good thing, because this is where the tables will really turn for you. Don't be that guy who wakes up at 40, because by that time it'll just be really hard to turn things around. Your life's not yet over, man. Let that regret soak in and use that as fuel to race forward.
Check out the ultimate guide for the ambitious young man, only at themailarchive.com.